Hello everybody, Wednesday night, Cape Rugby TV time. Nice to have you along. If you are tuning in for the first time, we are the show that talks about club rugby in Western Province. Big thanks to our partners on board with us, Direct Access, your financial services partner, Score Energy Drinks. Of course, partner to the Western Province Club Rugby Sevens. You can win yourself a case of Score a little bit later during the course of the show. Yes, Electrical down on Voortrekker Road. Intercape, of course, the official transport service provider to Western Province Rugby and the DHL Stormers. Let me introduce you to my panel this evening. We've got a very, very full show with clubs, the Stormers, the Club to Supersport Challenge, and we'll be interviewing a number of folks that have been involved already from early in the season. Jerome Parvater. Jerome, nice to have you back, second week in a row.
Yeah, JP, it's good to be back, and it's good that the rugby has started a bit earlier, but we're in full swing and busy, so yeah, it's good.
Hands full already, and back on the show in 2020, Morgan Newman. Nice to have you back.
James, how's it? Thanks for having me back. Yeah, 2020, eh? Started with a bang, hasn't it?
Yep, we're straight into it. Guys didn't even wait. 6th of January. Did you guys at Hamilton's also start on the 6th of Jan?
Yep, we did. The 7th of Jan, actually. We started on the 7th of Jan, but full swing. I mean, it's great to see numbers down at practice and raring to go. Looking forward to a jam-packed year of club rugby across the board.
I believe Jerome Parvat is busy stealing some of your players.
Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, as much as he's stealing, it probably is the pathway, isn't it? I mean, the clubs we are there to provide a platform for players to hopefully get on to greater honours, and Jerome's a big advocate for club rugby players, and look, we've got some talented guys down there, and if we can see them play Supersport Challenge and potentially move on to higher ranks, then so be it, sad to see them go, but at this point, it's just good to see them training. I mean, Jerome's already started back in November, so it's nice that the guys started in November. We only started in January, so we're getting guys that have already had 2 months of fairly tough training behind their backs, and
that off-season, pre-season. Jerome, so let's talking about that. It's of course the Club to Supersport Challenge. You're right into it right now. The guys play their first game. Well, let's just quickly give us a rundown for the folks who are tuning in for the first time. What is the Club to Supersport Challenge? And in fact, is that the name? Because I saw with the Varsity Rugby Day, which we're going to show highlights of just now, folks. We're going to show you highlights of this Varsity Rugby Day at Tygerberg, where the Stormers and the club guys and the CPUT, Martins and UWC, not UWC, UCT were all the UWs, of course, had to take a bit of a break. Just give us a rundown. What is the Club to Supersport Challenge?
Yeah, JP, you were asking about the name, but and when we play, we are the Western Province 15.
There we go. That's the name I was looking for. I saw.
Oh, nice.
So we Western Province 15.
Okay.
And it's also like JP. We also reward the guys. We
when we're talking about the guys, just give us a breakdown. Who are they? Where do they come from?
The club players. Asked last year. All the clubs send 5 to 6 names, which we tested. And out of that, guys, we took 35 of the best guys. And I must say, thanks to Morgan Hamilton's was very good this year with sending their players. So we're not stealing their players. They actually send their own players.
Yeah.
And so those guys all have like the 35 guys that we worked with now.
Yeah.
Look, we will reduce because some of the contracted guys are going to come back, but for now, that guys will stay with us.
But we're talking about more games. I mean, in a nutshell, we're talking about a bunch of club rugby players that you invited to come to trials. You've selected from that group a squad of players that we now call the Western Province Rugby 15, and they play in a tournament against other provinces in what's called the Supersport Challenge.
Yeah, so it's exactly so. We play in the southern region, provincial competition in the Super Rugby team. So we play the Free State, EP, Sharks, Boland, SVD, and us. So we form part of the southern Super Rugby Challenge competition. So that guys, I mean, most of that guys, in seeing them playing Saturday, there are a lot of guys that we can actually use.
Let's not talk too much about that right now. We're going to take a look at some of that. You played a whole bunch of chuckers on Saturday, so that's quite exciting. I really enjoyed watching you on the side of the field more than anything else. But Morgan, that was a scene to behold.
I hope Renzel got that, Chips.
Nope.
Are we not going to see any highlights of that?
We might show Jerome. The only thing that's important here is we show Jerome in what I believe to be a fishing cap.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that. Folks, we're of course out at some of the clubs. As you know, the guys have got the ball rolling. Tonight we'll take a look at Episode3 pre-season training, Strand pre-season training, and St. George's pre-season training. And then we've got a number of interviews as well with some of the coaches and players and officials from some of the club. Let's start off with Episode3 pre-season and see how the guys are getting back into action. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. Oh, there we go. I love the fact that this, folks, we could always play around in the studio in the back here. Got Morgan Newman, international superstar rugby player, played for the Stormers, played for the Springboks, played for Western Province Rugby, a few other teams as well, and now coaching at Hamilton's. But most importantly, one of the original Cape Rugby TV members. So, Morgs, we're very happy to have you here.
James, I'm happy to be here. And when you said to me off air that this is the 10th year of Cape Rugby TV, I mean, we need to do some sort of a, besides the bloopers reel, which I'm going to organize without you being aware of it. I mean, 10 years, congratulations.
10 years,
that's in order. I mean, 10 years of bringing club rugby to the world. Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah. I think that's in order, isn't it?
And in fact, Jerome Parvat, also right from the beginning. Back in the days when we were out. Anyway, so Jerome,
we started.
I didn't want to mention it because
let's just talk about this very quickly. But we started out as a little studio, I think downstairs. I mean, it was a two-seater, wasn't it?
Oh, that was when we moved, but when we were originally at Cape Town
Sorry, that's
TV
right. We were also at Cape Town TV. That's right.
Observatory.
Yes, an observatory at the station there with AFTA, and that's where we started the.
We have to do something for 10 years.
But we can't
celebrate.
We can't tell the whole history of Cape Rugby here now. But yes, it's absolutely been fantastic, and hopefully the clubs are, it's been good value for the clubs. But we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Episode3, of course, they're busy with their pre-season training. Jerome, what I really like to see there, Episode3 is getting promoted now. They're going up to Super League C. They come out of the regional zones. One of the things that I found interesting last year was that it was very difficult to tell whether the Northern League, the City League, or the Southern League, the strength between the three, because these are regional spaces. Whereas when you got to a Super League A, B, or C, you understood sort of what strength there was. Episode3 now go from, I think, the Southern League. They come into the into Super League C. How much of a change do you think that there's going to be for them in the preparation?
Look, if I just look at the numbers now for this time of the year at the club, like Episode3, that's already a positive and a plus for them. And I also know Pedro, the guy is actually the manager or the chairman.
Yes, in fact, Pedro April, we're going to speak to Pedro in a second. Yeah. He was coach last year and has been now elected as the chairman of Episode3.
Yeah, great guy and doing a lot for the community there. And also, if you look at how Episode3 developed that community there, it's great. I mean, to see and all the people involved there doing stuff. That's a real community club. So if they can go, they will go from strength to strength. And we'll probably see them in Super B, the way they're going on and the numbers that they have and what they do at the club. So yeah, it's good for rugby and it's good for Eerste.
Well, we did manage to catch up with some of the players, coaches and captains there at Eerste. We spoke to Eerste coach Francois Allens, who's of course now taken over from Pedro April. And we also spoke to Eerste fullback Percy van Hooy and then, as we mentioned, Pedro April, now newly elected as the chairperson. So, a couple of interviews. Let's catch up with these guys. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Ja, yes my maat, weet as die tweede week soos jy sê, ons numbers was in die eerste week brilliant geweest en die numbers stel net op soos jy kan sien agter ons. Die veld is vol, so dit is verblywend om dit te sien. Dit is net lekker man. En ons hoop die numbers stel net op. Ja, jy weet is maar gesukkel op die huidige oomblik, maar huidiglik vir die 2 weke het ons seker tussen 30 en 40 onder 20's gehad. Maar dis 'n proses wat ons definitief gaan aanvat. Ons moet onder 20's field, so as die manne daar buite is aan die 20's, steek uit man, 'n Eerste Rugby Club. Ons het julle nodig. Dit is verblywend om te sien dat van die ouens wat jy nou al weet wat by ander klubs gespeel het wat hierdie jaar hier is. Ons hoop die manne gaan bly. Dit sal lekker wees om hulle hier te hê. Maar Superliga in die geheel is iets op hom eie. Jy weet, is lekker kompeterend en dit is wat die manne soek. Nie dat die onderleague waarvan ons kom nie kompeterend is nie. Elke league het maar sy eie issues. So ons is net bly om almal hier te hê.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. All right then, Jerome, let's just take a look at that. One of the things we didn't mention there, and Morgs, I know you probably want to jump in here as well. The interesting thing for these guys is now going up to Super League C, you have to field under 20, which is exactly what he was talking about there. How difficult is that going to be?
Look, JP, I don't think it will be that difficult. There's a lot of schools in East River also. So if they do their homework properly and go to the schools, especially the guys who finish off with schools and interact with the schools. I know Bellville South is quite good with it. So they have a lot of youngsters playing actually in the second and first team from schools. So if they use all the structures with the schools around, there's a lot of schools, they can actually field a good under 20 team. Yeah,
Morgs, your thoughts?
Yeah, James, I mean, I also was quite surprised by the statement, but it is going to be tough because, I mean, we find that even at Hamilton's where I coach, it's difficult to get under 20s down there, getting numbers, and you also need numbers. So, so it's good that these guys got to go out, start interacting with schools. Not all the schools in the region may play rugby, so I would almost say to all the teams in the regions, start to recruit under 20s, even if they're not playing games. Let them play amongst each other, let them play touch rugby, but they need to have a contact with the club. Because otherwise you sit like this now, where I think they might be in a little bit of trouble finding players, or finding under 20s as per se.
All right, we've managed to catch up there with Eerste Rivier's coach, Francois Allens, and their fullback, Percy van Hooy. We'll take an ad break after that, and then we'll move into our pre-season training with Strand. Back in a sec. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Super C, ek dink dit was 'n droom vir die laaste 4 jaar van Eerste Rivier. Ek meen baie mense het al hoop verloor en was hier van ons players wat nog altyd aangebly het en ek is net dankbaar dat daar nog mense gebly glo in ons because why even ons scouts wat laas jaar ons hoofafrigter was hy is nou die chairman, hy het altyd vir ons gesê ons is 'n ongoing process en is 'n ongoing thing. Ons gaan na uitkom waar ons moet uitkom en finally het ons destination arrive en hiervandaan af is dit net op.
Het is definitief verblywend om die getalle te sien op die stadium. Op die stadium redelike getalle van jong manne. So die groot naam word nog nie eintlik opgedaag nie, maar ons hoop in die volgende week of 2 sal hulle definitief uitsteek. Kyk, as 3 komponente binne die klub is die vroue rugby, dis die juniors en under 20s en dan is die senior rugby. As 'n geheel is dit 'n goeie kern. Ons het op die stadium 'n redelike goeie kern van dames onder leiding van die 2 coaches wat daar is. Hulle ondersteun die dames baie goed. So ons urge ook die dames daar buite, kom na ons toe. Die geleenthede is nou hier. Ons speel in 'n kompeterende liga. Ons speel vriendskaplike wedstryde. So definitief is eerste rivier die plek om te wees of jy nou vrou of man is. Dis definitief die plek om te wees of jy jonk of oud is. Dis definitief die plek om te wees. Dit was never quote.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. Welcome back, everybody. It's Cape Rugby TV time. A lot of rugby activity already. We're taking a look tonight at Strand, Eerste Rivier and St. George's. We'll take a look at the varsity day that was at Tygerberg. Jerome, I had a fantastic time at Tygerberg on Saturday with the varsity rugby there. Not just because of the fact that the Stormers was there and all the universities and all your club guys, but from the very time that we arrived at the door, everybody was so happy to see and chat and say hello. It was a really fantastic environment. Everybody knew what we were doing and why we were there. It was great.
No, it was great, and it was good to see the crowd there in the 11th of January. All that people there, and as you say, and everybody was just talking rugby and happy to start. And it was really, it wasn't like you go. Everybody was happy. Nobody was swearing or talking bad.
It was great. I must say
it was great. It was a great day.
I really think that the Tygerberg management are doing fantastic work at Tygerberg. The Tira fans out there certainly making, or as have always had a big name for themselves. We went out to Strand. Strand busy with their pre-season training. They're in Super League C, of course. They ended 4th in the league last year, so reasonably solid and can build this year, and will probably be looking for promotion to Super League B. Let's take a look at some of their pre-season training. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. Hello everybody, welcome back, Cape Rugby TV time. Strand there, of course, Super League C now, they ended 4th in the league. They went down to Hands and Hearts last year in the playoff. You remember that close call. Jerome, that Helderberg Basin, Strand Pioneers, St. George's, All Saints. There's quite a vibe going on there.
No, it is, and also in that community to see, like, I mean, if you just see it Strand, also the amount of players that's there, the amount of players are at St. George's, and so you can go in Strand, they're all busy, and it's big rivalry, but they're also all friends, they grew up together, and the Strand or the Helderberg region always competitive.
I often wonder about some of the clubs. Like, how do you choose if you're going to play at Strand Pioneers or if you're going to play at Strand, or if you're going to play St. George's or for Strand, All Saints or for Macassar? Like, how do you choose? You know, is it because it's just 100 meters away from you? And how often do the guys move around? I mean, this is like there's so much interaction here.
I don't have a clue, James, and I don't think I'll ever know. But I reckon the coaches have a role to play. I reckon the coaches, can't play for me,
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head there. Coaches have got a lot to do with it.
Yeah, 100%. I think players, you go where you feel at home. You go where you're wanted, where you know you're wanted. You know where you feel you can have an impact, and it's tough out there. Oof, I don't want to be a coach out there that has to try and recruit players.
But it's also important that you feel like your coach is recognizing you, your coach knows who you are. If you do well on the field, your coach is going to give you credit. You know, one of the things that everybody wants is a little bit of recognition, a little bit of feel good, a little bit of well done, a little bit of thank you. And so you want coaches with that. Jerome, I mean...
Yeah, but that in the communities like that, you know, JP, is a lot of family, like
the Paarwaters and Murat.
The great grandfather started the club.
Yeah,
now
that's a
the
history.
children come, so they all play. Remember 2 years ago, I speak to Damien in Ramon.
Yeah.
And they're from Strand, and their father played for Strand League, and they said no, they are Strand League people. And that's how it is, and the people are like, they doesn't matter what the club is, they'll stick to that club.
It's interesting that you say that, because even some houses today, you'll find that if you go back years, the club was 2 clubs and then became 1 club, but the family still, they sit on the opposite ends of the couch. Anyway, this is what club rugby is all about. It really is very interactive. We managed to catch up with Strand coach Jermaine Brinkhuis. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Yes, is baie lekker, maar baie van die manne is lui en maar ons het 'n bietjie ons beplanning 'n bietjie verander. Jy kan sien is baie exciting hier agter. Bietjie meer krag en kondisionering intens in plaas van net die veld vol hardloop. So die ouens excited vir iets nuut. So ons het 'n bietjie kundiges ingekry om ons te kom help met ons beplanning te doen vir die jaar. En om die ouens se mindset net 'n bietjie te verander en 'n bietjie meer effektief op die veld te wees in veral kontaksituasie en 'n bietjie meer krag en eksplosiwiteit. En dis wat ons baie aan hande gee nou. Ek glo dit was vir ons 2019 was vir ons 'n goeie seisoen. Maar ons het ons doelwitte bereik basies. Ons is 'n jong groep. Die average ouderdom is 21. Maar ons is on par met ons beplanning vir 2020. Ons werk toe 'n bietjie ander goedes wat ons nou laas jaar nie aan aandag kon gegee het nie. So hopelik as alles goed gaan dan sal ons weer 'n goeie seisoen hê.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. So Strand coach there, Jermaine Brinkhuis, busy there with the guys on the Strand side. Jerome, you worked with Jermaine for many years.
He was at Marty's when I was there, and astute coach. I mean, that Strand side is in good hands with Brinky there. And it's also great to see a lot of the clubs using it, you know, sort of doing outdoor training, you know, really utilizing the time effectively, you know, trying to get some basic strength work before the season starts. It's not just ball throwing around and all that kind of stuff. So I expect to see a really good quality of rugby across all clubs this season, you know, especially seeing the work the Oaks are putting in pre-season.
It's nice to see that the coaches are still being creative. They're also starting to bring in strength and conditioning guys. Maybe, you know, we had such a problem. In fact, South Africa still has a problem with all of these thousands of educational courses that you go into nowadays about doing a personal training course or a sports science course, but there's very little employment for these guys who finish these courses. To the best of my, now you can find a job at a club, get the ball rolling as a strength and conditioning, do a bit of that.
Yeah, I mean look, there are 92 clubs. So technically there are 92 jobs or 92 places where you can go and
times 3.
Times 3. So there's, you know, what's that? I don't know. What's that? 250 places.
I'll leave the maths up to you.
256, but there's a place to go and improve your skill, work, you know, get this knowledge. I think it's really important. We take for granted how much, you know, bookwork is one thing, but you know, practically doing the work and being down there involved with teams. I think that experience is what will carry you through the long term, because I think Western Province and so forth are going to be looking at guys with experience, not necessarily with a great CV.
Yeah, 100%. Jerome, you probably buy into that as well, that at a club level the management teams are now much bigger.
Yeah, and I agree 100% with what Morgan said. It all boils down to experience, guys who are really been in the thing and done the things and give feedback, and the players also just listen more to that, guys.
Yeah. Folks, if you want to win yourself a case of Score Energy Drinks, 33090, just SMS the word SCORE to 33090. Put yourself in a mix to win a case of Score Energy Drinks. I love my Score Energy drink. Just before training or on my way driving there, ice cold Score, drink that, have a lekker workout. So Score Energy Drinks, take a look for that. Now, of course, you can win yourself a case of Score, a whole case. All you need to do is SMS the word Score to 33090, 33090, and you put yourself in the mix to win a case. Congratulations then to last week's winner, Denver Michaels. Denver, somebody from Cape Rugby TV is going to be in touch with you shortly, and you can collect your case of Score energy drinks. We were, of course, out at Strand with their pre-season training. We managed to catch up with flank Kyle Steerman. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Na die festive holidays, manne lyk 'n bietjie verras. So ja, zoom after week. Ons het val vir die afgelope paar jaar val ons net kort om die Super B-liga te kan speel. Maar wat ons laas jaar gefouteer het, hopelik maak ons dit die jaar reg. Volgens die numbers wat klaar is dit klaar stappen in die regte directie in. Ons volle vertroue in hulle en daar is niks tsapery op 'n coach of so nie. Baie gedisciplineerde players, so ja, ons glo vertroue in hulle en hulle glo in ons. Kom jy die league April maand, ons sal definitief reg moet wees. Van 'n kortvalling sal weer moet gebeur hierdie jaar. Dink jy dis enige een wil hê nie, ons moet kortval weer hierdie jaar. Definitief, ek glo ons sal reg wees.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. It's Wednesday night, it's Cape Rugby TV time. We talk about what's happening in the world of Western Province Club Rugby. Tune in. Remember, find us on Facebook, www.facebook.com/Cape Rugby TV. If you want to tell people where your practice sessions are, what your events are, your events calendar, then just post it on our Facebook page, and it's easy for us to find. Right, we were of course out at Strand, of course, at least in the Strand at St George's. Many of the clubs there in the same neighbourhood. St George's currently playing in Super League B. They ended at number 4 on the log last year. That was of course after losing to Belleville at Newlands. St George's, former Super League A side, and they will also be looking to get promotion at the end of this year into Super League A. Let's take a look at some of the pre-season training at St George's, and then we'll speak to their assistant coach there, Isadora Min, as well as their centre, Fabian Philander. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. Welcome back, folks. Cape Rugby TV time. St George's in action. They're, of course, no stranger to Cape Rugby TV. We've been talking about St George's for years. I've been out there many times. Jerome and I have gone to watch plenty of games there. I remember big derby games there, like St George's up against the Lowrians playing in the rain, and thousands of fans around. You want to see a lot of fans? Go to any club rugby game, and you'll see thousands of fans around the side of the field. Those were, of course, some of the best days, Jerome. Big derby day. Do you remember that day when we went out to Lowry and St George's?
Yeah, big rugby days.
They had to play on the B-field. Yeah,
B-field, in the rain.
In the rain.
But in the rain, to see that thousands of people there, it's great to see. It was a good face that day to see all that people there, and good rugby also on the day.
100%. Jerome, just talking about this in Morgs, I know you want to, you being one of the fittest people in South Africa, I actually just need to throw this as you as well.
I will be by the next 6 months.
The difference at the moment, I mean, if you look at, I see quite a variety in the conditioning functional training that the guys are doing inside the field there. Off-season, pre-season. Now I see the guys, some of them are running around the field, others are jumping over things, and then others are again doing heavyweight training. There's about February, March, and then we start our first game. And there will be some friendlies leading up to this as well. What should be the focus now over the next 2 months or the next 6 weeks before you start playing your first game?
I would say now it's starting your pre-season now. It's cardio, it's speed and agility, and combined gym work. But it's not heavy weights now for these guys now at the moment. And it's good to see what they're doing, and it's good to see the stations. They do some agility, they do some cardio, they do some speed, but they must stay away from heavy weights now, because it can just guys who had injuries, it can just come back again and hurt you. So you don't want to do too heavy weights now.
So Morgs, important then, I mean, you could maybe elaborate as well a little bit, like keep your base strength there and start moving slowly towards the...
Yeah, look, I think, James, we're heading to call it the back end of preseason, because we're very close to what is going to be. The next 2 months is a lot of... So, you know, the packing on of the weight should have happened November, December. Yeah. Because we all know once you hit the field and once you're doing a lot of cardio, then a lot of that you shed a lot of that excess weight. And so the heavy work, like Jerome says, should be done now. It also depends where, you know, what the plan is. You know, there are 100 different trains of thought of what is the right way. I don't necessarily know what is the right way. I think there's a number of different ways you can go about it. But for us, I would agree with Jerome. You know, we want to play at a high intensity. So a lot of everything we're doing is at a high intensity. Whether it's weight training, whether it's just doing shuttles, whether we want to play. We're inclined now to train the way we're going to play, which is going to be at a high intensity, high paced game. You know, a lot of cardiovascular. You need to be physically to be strong, up and down. You know, you need to be able to get up, make a tackle, get up, make another tackle, get up, make another tackle, ball in hand, attack. So, yeah, there's plenty of ways to go about it, but tapering down on the weights is probably the way to go now. Yeah, I would say, and doing a lot of you know, the high intensity speed work and stuff like that.
All right, folks, got to find that balance between volume and intensity, very important, and build that cardio base now, because you can't build the cardio base 2 or 3 weeks before the season. So you've got to kind of build that machine, but we'll find out more about that with some of the experts in the weeks to come. We managed to catch up there with St. George's assistant coach Isidore Armin and their centre at St. George's, Fabian Philander. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy.
Ja, is lekker vir ons na die festive break. Ek voel ons het 'n goeie rus gehad oor die break en ons sien uit ons goeie opkomste gehad. Ons het gister aan begin. Goeie opkomste gehad vir eerste aan en ons kan net bou hier vanaand vorentoe. Ja, is belangrik om eerstens 'n kultuur te skep by vir al die jongelinge, omdat ons gemeenskappe so gebuk gaan onder geweld en drugs en verkeerde elemente. So ons probeer om die environment lekker te skep hier en dan daarvandaan om hulle rugby kennis uit te bring. Ons is altyd reg, maar met dit gesê, het hang alles af van die pre-season en hoe ons gaan verloop, maar ons wil nie te ver vorentoe kyk nie. Ons wil net 'n goeie pre-season en die platform lê om die league aan te vat.
Ja, definitief. Ja, net 'n bietjie taaf op die oomblik. Maar dit was altyd taaf die eerste paar weke, veral vir die groot manne. Altijd lekker om jong, enthousiastische mannen te zien hier langs het veld. Hulle lead eindelijk die pick op die oomblik. Hulle motiveert eindelijk voor ons, senior players op die oomblik. En hulle is die ouens wat voorhelp op die oomblik. Ik denk, die belangrijkste nou is om die community te uplift hier buiten. Ik denk, ons wil nog niks weggeven op die oomblik. Ik denk, ons gaan het wat game voor game. En dan kunnen we na elke game reassess.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. Welcome back, folks. Right, it's Cape Rugby TV. This weekend we also went out to Tygerberg in Ravensmead, where it was the varsity day. Now the Stormers were out there, as well as a number of universities, Marties, Stellenbosch, UCT and CPUT in action, and as well as Jerome Parvatter's Western Province 15, as I must call them now. Have I got it right?
Right, yeah.
100% 15, but of course there's a lot more than 15 guys in your squad. Let's take a look at some of the highlights and then you can tell us a little bit about that. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-hour Pharmacy. Right, welcome back. Okay, Jerome, run us through it. Club to Super Sport Challenge, your Western Province 15. You had about 30, 40 guys there, though, that you were rotating through different squads, playing chuckers. Just tell us about the day. Looking at that, wow, I'm seeing some exciting running rugby there.
No, it was good rugby, and I think the crowd love it, because I said to the guys, Morgan, we're playing 20 minutes. We're not going to kick the ball, so they were forced to run from behind the
so
try
just
line.
run us by that again. No kicking.
No kicking. My games, I was the only team that didn't kick one ball away, because I said we have 20 minutes.
Yep,
you guys need to prove to me that you can play rugby. So we keep the ball. We're not gonna play this boring rugby, whatever, and play what's in front of you, hit the space. And if you look at the tries that the guys were scoring there, it is naturally, and that's how club rugby is being played. So I don't want to take away their natural ability. Yes, guide them, give them a few structures, but not too much. And the guys were happy to play. And I mean, we beat the Stormers group 3 tries to 2. We beat the Marty's team with 5 tries to 0. So yeah, it was. And just because of running rugby.
Love it. Morgs, it's your kind of...
Yeah, that's my kind of preach. I can listen to Jerome talk like that all day, Jeff. So I'm a big advocate. You know, the reality is, yes, you need to stick within your structures. And yes, there is a kicking game in place. I don't say we don't never kick. But the reality is, what's there to be won or lost on a day like this?
Yeah.
And the people out there, they want to see entertaining rugby. They want to see individually brilliant. What if players, individual brilliance is what makes days like this successful. And not kicking is... It's a twofold effect. Yes, you get through much more phases, you hold the ball, cardiovascular, these oaks get fitter, the match fitness plays a role, but also you learn how to play within your own 22 under pressure. Kicking is the last option. We've got to shove the ball to the middle of the field, shift it to the middle of the field, set up a target. Then we've got to maybe probe a little bit here, probe a little bit there, see what's on, what's not on. It teaches you an element of the game that I think we start to lose. We go so quickly to the resort, to the boot, that we forget that we still need to play inside our own 22 at times.
Yeah.
If you're in the last 5 minutes of a game, you're leading 5-0, and you can't then kick the ball, give the opposition the ball an opportunity to score. You need to learn to play within your own 22 and hold on to the ball no matter where you're on the field. And that is exactly what club rugby is all about.
Yeah, so isn't there like a careful lesson that we need to be taking out of this? I mean, I want to talk more about the club rugby side of things, but you can't play club rugby necessarily the same way that you see rugby being played at the World Cup?
100%. Look, firstly,
Hey, Jerome?
the odds are massively different. I mean, there's a lot more at stake.
I mean, just because Faf de Klerk kicks the ball through, plenty times up in the air doesn't mean that that's 100% the right way for your game.
Well, my argument has always been, what is the club there for?
Yeah.
Will we win the league? It would be nice to win the league.
Score tries.
But the reality is we're there to entertain spectators.
Yeah, well,
and entertaining rugby is not always kicking. There are times in the game where we need to kick. And there are times where you need to want to win this game. But for the large majority of rugby, we need to be entertaining people. Are we gonna full stands? Play entertaining rugby. Now when we play a brand of rugby where the ball's being thrown around the park and everyone's enjoying it, the stadiums are gonna get full because we want to go down there and be part of that atmosphere, part of that entertainment.
Jerome, you are certainly in a world of trouble here, looking at this, at your 15, your Western Province 15 there, because I don't know how you're going to select your team.
You can only pick 15.
There are so many guys in that team that are just looking fantastic.
And I mean, that's all non-contracted guys, JP. So, but I said to the guys, this is my philosophy. I don't care if you're good enough, you're gonna play. There's an opportunity because last year, for example, in the Supersport Challenge, the Stormers took 6 of my guys, and I had to take 6 club players because they were ready to play in a Supersport Challenge final.
We spoke about this as well earlier in the year and at the end of last year that clubs needed to turn up for the testing. Now you might have missed that boat. You desperately needed to get onto Jerome's list here, and you've got a bunch of great guys there now.
100% JP, and the exposure this guy's got now. And a lot of club guys phoned me Monday, Coach, can I come? And I said, your club didn't send you, you missed the opportunity.
Yeah, very exciting. Clubs, of course, in action there. We could spend a lot of time talking about this. We've got to move along. Of course, the other component was the Stormers are busy with their pre-season training. We're going to take a look at that after the ad break. Right, welcome back then. You are watching Cape Rugby TV. Tell your friends if they want to find out what's happening in the world of West Province Club Rugby. Very exciting. In fact, you can promote to all the kids out there to start playing rugby. It's a great way to get active. The DHL Stormers, of course, are the pride and joy of rugby in the Western Cape. And Cape Rugby TV every week gets out and touches base with some of the players, and it's always fantastic to see what the guys are doing behind the scenes. Let's catch up with some of them now. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks, and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. DHL Stormers there behind the scenes at the High Performance Centre. Jerome, looks like there's quite a lot of guys there and a lot of rugby style practicing going on at the moment. Cleaning out, tackle drills, different to what we saw the club guys doing with the conditioning and the strength, but the guys are getting more rugby specific now.
Yeah, because I mean they play on Sunday, JP. So that's now the club guys will probably from next month pick up that same stuff, but they're on the right path what they're doing now.
Right. Well, we managed to catch up with some of the players as well. There, of course, DHL Stormers lock Chris Van Sale. We've had him on the show a number of times. Always lovely to chat to Chris. And Dylan Lades, last year's most valuable player at the DHL Western Province Awards, the most valuable player. Let's catch up with some of the guys. This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy.
Great. I think it was a great hit out against the clubs. I think we got out of it what we wanted. Maybe not the best structure and stuff, but good for the guys to get some contact and some game time and some fitness as well, of course. Yeah, I think the boys are excited to get going. Obviously Marvel this weekend, which will be very, very, very good, and I think the boys are looking forward to that. And then one weekend off and then straight into it at home. I mean, I think it's a perfect start. A New Zealand team in front of the faithful at the last year. I don't think you can ask for a better start, and I think that's what the guys are really looking forward to, is being in front of the faithful at Newlands. I think it means a hell of a lot to a lot of the guys that place for different reasons. And yeah, I think the boys are really looking forward for that first one.
It's no secret that I think we've got some of the best supporters in South Africa and even in the world. A lot of people stream into Newlands on the weekends, and we hardly get the chance to interact with them. So whenever we do get the opportunity, it's something we want to do, just to show those people that we appreciate them and that we value their support week in and week out. Pretty emotional year for all of us, with it being the last season at Newlands. So we want to get the people streaming into Newlands, get the bums on seats, and hopefully play some attractive rugby that will keep the people coming, not just for the first week, but week in and week out to support the Stormers.
This Cape Rugby TV feature is brought to you by Direct Access Financial Services, Score Energy Drinks and MChem 24-Hour Pharmacy. There we go, folks. Always fantastic speaking to Chris Van Sale and Dylan Lades. The Stormers are, of course, in action this coming weekend at the FNB Stadium, where they play against the Sharks in the Superhero Challenge. Jerome, your superhero is Spider-Man, Thor. We are, of course, Thor, so I'm expecting you to say Thor.
No, we Thor, yeah, we Thor. And
Morgan Newman?
I'm very Thor. My legs are a bit Thor, Jeff.
Oh, you're
just kidding, of course I'm Thor. Yeah. I'm a Spider-Man man, but in this case, Thor.
You know what? Me too. I think growing up, I was
very disappointed. Of course, a couple of years back when I was hoping Stormers would be Spider-Man, but I've had to move.
I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Then wasn't so much into the other guys. Spider-Man, but Thor.
Thor will take Spider-Man without a doubt.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Thor and Spider-Man. Thor will take Spider-Man. Well, he's got the most powerful hammer. So, yeah. Exactly, yeah. Jerome, thank you very much for joining us on Cape Rugby TV. Always a pleasure. We look forward to following your guys. They are doing such a great job. They're looking awesome. If I was one of the other provinces, I'd be really worried.
Yeah, JP, and next week we're going to Stellenbosch to test the northern region there, so I hope to see all the numbers of the clubs there next Tuesday.
That's the clubs from the northern region. Have they signed up? Have they put their names on the list? Are they going to know that they must come?
They know already. The coaches informed them, so I'm hoping to see a lot of guys there.
Great stuff. So if you're in the northern region, a club there, make sure you're there, because Cape Rugby TV is going to be out there to watch and talk to you and check out your players. So hopefully all the players out there have signed up with Jerome. Morgan Newman, thanks. Nice to have you back. 2020 gets going.
Always good, James. And thanks for having me again. And all the best for 2020, 10 years of Cape Rugby TV.
Yes, sir. And we will listen to you Monday to Fridays, 3 to 6 on Good Hope FM.
That's correct, James. Keeps me busy.
Yeah. Notice how that just rolled off the tongue?
I know, right? You're right to say, all right? Power. Is this the power hour, maybe? The power hour of Cape Rugby TV.
The Cape Rugby TV power. Yes, there we go. Yeah. All right, folks, that's a wrap. We'll see you next week, same time, same place. Have a fantastic rugby weekend. Bye-bye.